Some nights don't belong to history. They belong to the people who survived them. October 17, 1964 was one of those nights. No cameras, no crowds, no applause. Just 8 men breathing in the damp air of a forgotten warehouse in Kowloon, watching 2 human beings walk towards something only one of them might walk away from. I remember Bruce Lee's face before the fight more clearly than anything else. Not the famous face the world would later know, but the real one. Lean, sharp, alert. Eyes alive, not angry, not afraid, alive. His cheekbones caught the weak overhead light as he stepped forward, barefoot on cold concrete. Every muscle in his body looked awake, not tense, but ready, like a coiled wire. Across from him stood Chen Wei Long, the man people whispered about instead of naming out loud. 42 years old, heavy frame, thick neck, scarred chest that looked carved by blades instead of time. His face was the opposite of Bruce's, emotionless, worn, settled. The face of someone who had already accepted death long before this night. When Chen stood still, he didn't look relaxed. He looked permanent, like a statue placed there decades ago and never moved again. That contrast alone told you everything. Youth versus experience, speed versus pressure, evolution versus tradition. Bruce had returned to Hong Kong changed, his shoulders broader, his stance looser, his movements no longer bound by the stiffness of old forms. He was no longer trying to look like a martial artist, he simply was one, and that terrified the old guard. Chen didn't hate Bruce because he was disrespectful. He hated him because Bruce represented what Chen once was and then buried. The challenge wasn't a test, it was a message. Come prove yourself or disappear. When Bruce accepted, it wasn't pride driving him, it was alignment. His body, his mind, his philosophy all pointed in the same direction. And that night, under that swinging light, when the first movement happened, it didn't look like violence, it looked like nature. Chen moved with shocking speed for someone built like a mountain. His shoulder rolled forward, his fist slicing the air toward Bruce's throat, while his leg chopped low, aiming to cripple, not test. Bruce didn't retreat. His body shifted inward, cheek narrowly missing Chen's knuckles, shin meeting shin with a sharp crack that echoed across concrete walls. Bruce's fingers flashed upward toward Chen's eyes, not with anger, but precision. Chen barely pulled back in time. The sound of breath changed instantly. No more calm, just survival. Chen's face tightened, Bruce's eyes sharpened. They circled, bodies loose but dangerous, sweat already forming along temples and collarbones. When Chen attacked again, it was brutal. Body shot, rotation, back fist thrown with the full weight of decades behind it. Bruce absorbed part of it, ribs compressing, jaw tightening, but his counter exploded forward. His fists moved so fast they blurred, hammering Chen's centerline, chest, sternum, throat. Chen staggered, coughing, surprise finally breaking through his stone expression. Then the roar came, a deep animal sound tearing out of Chen's chest as he unleashed everything. Elbows like iron bars, knees driving upward, palms crashing down with murderous intent. Bruce's body took damage, skin reddening, breath shortening, balance tested. His face showed strain now, sweat streaking down his jaw, eyes still focused but burning. When his back hit the wall, the sound wasn't loud, but it was final. Chen stepped in, face alive now, confident, certain. His palm drove forward, aimed straight at Bruce's heart. And that's when Bruce disappeared. Not physically, but mentally. His eyes changed, thought left him. His hand caught Chen's wrist mid-strike, muscles locked, bodies clashed. Bruce twisted, knee snapping into Chen's leg at a precise nerve point. Chen's structure collapsed for a split second, and that second ended the fight. Bruce's strikes were clean, surgical, almost calm. A palm shattered the collarbone, an elbow snapped the head sideways, a kick destroyed the knee's stability. Chen hit the floor like something ancient finally returning to dust. Bruce stood there shaking, blood cutting across his brow, chest heaving, face exhausted but controlled. Alive. Chen tried to rise. His face, once empty, now showed pain, confusion, and something deeper. Bruce didn't finish him. He stood still, breathing, watching. When Chen asked why, his voice broken and quiet, Bruce extended his hand. That moment weighed more than the fight itself. Two men locked eyes, one who had lived by destruction, and one who had just proven he didn't need it. Bruce's voice was calm, stripped of ego. He spoke about growth, about how tradition is born from change, not frozen in time. Chen listened like a man hearing his own past speak back to him. Tears cut through the lines on his face as he admitted the truth, that he had once been like Bruce, curious, defiant, punished for it, reshaped by fear. The warehouse no longer felt violent. It felt sacred. When the witnesses swore silence, it wasn't secrecy, it was protection. Some truths collapse under noise. Bruce left that place injured but transformed. Chen left broken but reborn. Weeks later, they trained together in private, one bringing ancient depth, the other modern clarity. You could see Chen's posture soften over time, his face less rigid, his teaching more open. And you could see Bruce's movements deepen, breathing slower, strikes more intentional. That night didn't just shape a fight, it shaped a philosophy. Years later, when Bruce spoke about absorbing what works and discarding what doesn't, that wisdom had roots in a dark warehouse where mercy defeated violence. When Bruce died, Chen wept quietly among the few who knew the truth, not for a man who beat him, but for a man who gave him back his soul. What 8 men witnessed that night wasn't the most dangerous fight of Bruce Lee's life. It was the most important. Because real mastery isn't proven by who you destroy, but by who you choose not to. And that is why this story was never meant for applause. It was meant to survive.